Today we're going to combine our two ideas of graphing inequalities that we did in our last video and systems of equations that we did a little while ago. We have systems of inequalities here. I've got 3 of them and they're grouped together with these braces, so you can see these two go together. Now we're going to graph them and we're going to visually see where the solutions are. This one is not in slope-intercept form, and I find it easiest to graph in slope-intercept form, so I'm going to put it that way by adding 2x to both sides. That gives us y is less than or equal to 2x plus 5. And then same here, we're going to subtract 2 to put it in slope-intercept form. We get y is greater than or equal to negative 2x minus 2. So we're going to graph the 2 lines that come from this. Slope is 2 and negative 2. And the y-intercept on this one is 5 and negative 2 for that one. So let's go ahead and graph these. Let's decide what type of line. From our last video, we remember that this equal sign tells us that we have a solid line. And then the shading, our y values on this one are going to be smaller, so we're going to shade below. And our y values on this one are going to be larger, so we're going to shade above. And I'm going to do these in 2 separate colors so we can see those areas. So our first one, y-intercept is at 5. Slope is 2, so I'm going to go up 2 and right 1, up 2 and right 1, or down 2 and left 1. We know we have a solid line right there, and we are shading this one below. So that is the graph of our first one, where this is all shaded below. All right, let's do the second one in green here. Our y-intercept is negative 2 this time. Our slope is negative 2, so we're going to go down 2 and right 1, or up 2 and left 1. And we have a solid line because we have the equal sign on there. So we're allowing the line to work. And then we're shading above, so that would be up in this area. Okay, let's have a quick refresher on systems. Remember, with systems of equations, a solution had to work for everything. So it has to work for this, it also has to work for this, and we have just shown by our shading the areas that work for each one of these. We're now going to take a look and see which area works for both. So that's why I did it in different colors. Take a look on this graph. We can see that green and purple overlap in this area right here. So in this area, the solutions work for green and they work for purple. That means that they are the solutions to our system because it works for both. This area works for purple, but it does not work for green. So even though it's solutions to the purple graph, we're going to throw it out because it does not work for green, and our system has to work for both. This one works for green, but it does not work for purple. So for the same reason, we're going to throw that out. So I'm going to erase this part. And then this area over here doesn't work for either one, so it is clearly not solutions. That means that we're going to keep this area here where they overlap. That is where we find our solutions to that system of equations. Let's do 2 more examples. All right, this one right here, we've got y equals 2 and y equals negative 2. Those are horizontal lines. We're going to make them dashed because there is no equal sign here. And on this one, we're going to shade above it because y values are greater. And on this one, we're going to shade below it because our y values are less. So let's put those on here also in different colors. All right, so we have y equals 2 right here. We're going to have a dashed line. So that's a horizontal line. And we're going to shade above it on this one. All right, next one, we have y equals negative 2 there. Again, we have a dashed line. It's horizontal. And we're going to shade on this one below it. Okay, let's think about it for a second. Our solutions are found where it works for both. So our purple solutions are up here. Our green solutions are down here, and there is no area of this graph where they overlap. There is no place where both of the solutions work for both of these. So this is an example where there is no solution. So on this one, I'm just going to write no solution. All right. Now let's take a look at this one. Our line on this one is going to be dashed because we're not allowing it to be equal. Our line on this one is going to be solid because we're allowing it to be equal. This one we're going to shade above. This one we're going to shade below. Our y-intercepts and slopes are here. Slope on both of these is 1. All right, let's take a look at what those look like. Okay, first one, we have our y-intercept of -1. Our slope is 1. So we're going to go up on these corners. We're down this way. Line is dashed. So we're going to draw a dashed line there. And we are shading above this one. All right, next one. Our y-intercept is +1. And our slope is also 1. So we're going to go along these corners again. This time our line is solid. And on this one we're going to shade below. Okay, so let's take a look at the graph on this one and see where they overlap. So our purple one, our purple solutions are found above the purple line, and our green solutions are found below the green line. The area where they overlap is in between these two lines, and they are parallel to each other. So it's just going to be in between this space the whole way. So I'm going to erase this area below the purple line. I'm going to erase these above the green line, and I'm going to keep only the shading in between the two lines, and that shows us our solutions. And we're done with our last one, so thank you very much.